Hello everyone, I'm Lisa. This is Sapphire Financial Training. We teach medical billing and coding. This channel is about studying for your CPC. This channel will be about medical billing, coding tips. We'll show you the books. We'll show you what you need to pass your CPC. Basically, I don't want to be more than 15 or 20 minutes sometimes, when I'm on YouTube. I don't want you to get restless in what you're looking at. But we'll talk about some of those things as far as passing your test. So again, this is Sapphire Financial Training. The topic is medical billing and coding. You guys should have seen my book on Amazon. It's Medical Billing and Coding Q&A, LLBC. Okay, LLBC is Lisa Lambert, Billing and Coding. Okay, so forgive the light. I'm trying to get a better light in here. So I'm trying to get like a different little format so you guys can see me better. So today I just want to continue on kind of sort of with the introduction. In the introduction, you will still get coding things, coding tips and stuff like that. But it's really like you're kind of getting to know me and who I am. So again, check out the book, look at the book. Website is in there. Anything you need to know is in there. There's a contact number in there and then some. I did put the web page up on Facebook. You guys go ahead and look at that. So let's just kind of get started. So I did leave off last time and I mentioned about the coding questions and some of the rationales that's in the actual CPC guide. This book is made by AAPC. And we're also going to discuss that. So in this book, like I said, make sure you read the code of conduct because we don't know if that's actually going to be on the exam or not. But just make sure you know it. I would write it in my CPT book just in case. Okay. Also, as far as your CPC exam, some of you may be beginners, you're new at coding, you're new at billing. The ICD-10 CM guidelines, you can go on CMS website and look at those. That's completely free. You don't have to buy the huge book to take a look at that. You can go on the CMS website. Just type in ICD-10 and CMS. Whole bunch of sites will pop up. Just pick the one that has the most current ICD-10 CM guidelines. Okay. We also want to talk about some of the books that you're going to need. Some of y'all who are just starting to do billing, I'm just going to give you a brief look at this book. This is an old one, but this is an insurance handbook. This is the 13th edition. They've got the 14th edition out already. But this book, you can get an insight on medical insurance billing. And there's also 2 chapters in there, one on ICD 10, and then there's another chapter on CPT. That's like a beginner's manual for people who are just starting to do coding, who are just starting to say, hey, let me see what this is like. So that's what that book basically is. Here's another one. This is a step-by-step. This is a step-by-step coding manual. This is by Carol Buck. She's amazing. Her books is wow. Very good. You need to get that. And you also can get the workbooks for both of these books. They come with workbooks. I have them over here somewhere. But when you go on and you pull up the step-by-step book and insurance handbook, the workbook is no doubt right underneath it. You can get the current book or you can get the old one. I would suggest you get the old one. There's a site called Thrift Books. You can go on that site and you can get them because you can get them for like $5 and $6. If you go to Amazon, even the old ones are like a little bit more, but you can get the current ones if you want to. But again, the step-by-step book, this book, I mean, you need to read it word for word if you want to kind of get a clue in on what the coding is about. The step-by-step book is exactly what it says. It teaches you how to code step by step. Some people can be self-taught. They can teach themselves to do what they need to do. You got to get choreographed to get it done. Okay. So don't forget, those books do come with workbooks. In my class, we do use these books. We do use these books. And don't forget, to get into the classroom, you have to have a code to get in there. What we're doing on YouTube, basically, I'm just kind of giving you insight on what this is about and what we're going to be doing. We're going to be, I'm going to give you study tips. If some of you guys out there who have taken the test already and who have not passed, let us know what what you got stuck on. Let us know what the problem was, because there might be tons of people getting stuck on the same thing. So we want to just kind of see what you're getting stuck on. A lot of people are getting stuck on the radiology and musculoskeletal system. Those two are kind of tough. So, in the musculoskeletal system, they're gonna ask you what type of bones, what type of fractions can occur, like names and different things like that, twigs, stuff like that, comminuted fracture, write them down. If that's your weak point, write those fractures down in the book. I'm not going to go through the whole fractures because I can't remember everything that that's in there, but some of those fractures, we are going to look at them. So again, we're still kind of doing like a little bit of an introduction for you guys. So again, we're doing CPC, Certified Professional Coder. We're going to do medical billing. That is in there. There are questions in there on medical billing. Not a whole bunch. There are a couple. So you don't have to be medical billing expert, but we're going to throw that in there anyway. If you want to just learn billing, medical billing, look at the class session. I've got a session just on that. If it's just coding, then we just, you just get in on the coding classes. Don't bother with the billing classes, because in the coding classes, there is a section on billing. Okay. So again, I don't recommend you get brand new study books. It's really not necessary. The only books that I want you to get that's new should be your CPT book and your ICD-10 and your HCPCS, because it's going to be the most current one. Now, CPC does allow you to use the year before, because the test is pretty much the same as the year before. Don't contradict me, but it's about the same. If you've got 2019 CPT and ICD-10, you can use it. You can't go before. Years ago, it used to let you go 2 years before, but you can't do that anymore. You can use a book that's a year before. But I would just get the current 220 books. I think they come out this week. The 220 ICD-10 for AAPC, and they come out this week. They're going to be selling this week. So I would go ahead and get that from AAPC. I mentioned AMA. You can get it from AMA too. I just like the AAPC ones because the way that the book is set up is primarily, there's pages in there that you can write notes in. AMA doesn't have pages like that. I mean, you can create spaces to write stuff, but the AAPC ICD-10, it has space for you to write notes. Okay, so again, if you've taken that exam 1, 2, 3, 4 times and you just, you had it, let's see what the problem is. Let's see what the problem is. Just change it up. Again, I would recommend to start with the short answers first. Remember, the test is in a booklet. It's in a booklet. The cases are more than likely first, and then the short answers. Just open the book and just start from the short answers. Now, you're going to have to pay attention because you're going to have a bubble sheet. If you start at 75, pay attention that you only bubble in that 75. Then you got to go back to the front. But you don't have to do it like that. That's just me. You can start from the beginning and then work your way down. So again, in the medical billing book, there is, information in there about, medical terminology and, something that you might see on your exam. And it's basically, it's a small book. It's not a very big book. It's a book you can just, throw it in your bag and look at it when you get ready to look at it. And there are pages in there where you can write notes in there as well. So I did put that in there. Let's talk a little bit more about what we're doing in the classroom, because I had got a couple of emails about people who had went on interviews and they needed a couple of tips and stuff like that. So yeah, we talk about stuff like that too. And again, this is a motivational class. If you guys, again, you got people around you that do not support you, you got to keep it moving. You got to keep it moving. You don't want to step on anybody, but if you got goals, you're buying a house or you need a car or whatever you want to do, you want to take your test, you want to go to college, just do it. Try it. It's not going to hurt to try it. If you make an attempt to try and buy a house, uh, listen, what they're going to tell you, you're not approved, you can't do it. All right, then they'll tell you what to do to get approved. So, we'll have a session on that too. I get a lot of emails about stuff like that. I've dealt with, houses and mortgage and stuff like that in the past. So we're going to talk about, things like that too, and how to get that credit fixed, how to, fix your credit where, you can get the house. And there's so many little tricks. It's crazy. None of that is, stuff like that you can do yourself. Nobody needs to do that for you. Get your computer, get your little typewriter, whatever you do. Did I say typewriter? No, I didn't. And do what you got to do. So I'm looking at my book. You want to see my book? I'm looking at this because I put everything in here. You guys got to understand. I write down everything. You should see me at work. I write everything. If somebody says something to me, I write it down. I'm putting time and date and who said it. So, that's just keeping records. And then again, go on Amazon, get your books. You don't have to. Now you can go to AAPC or AMA and get your books. But the used books, you can get them from thrift. I can't think of what it is. It's thrift something that you get, from Amazon. Okay. So again, go on the CMS website and get that ICD-10 guidelines. You can print those out if you want to. Some of that's going to be on a test. Some of that's going to be on a test, even though you're going to have them in front of you and they're already in the ICD-10 book. You still want to read them. I would read them at least 2 or 3 times, because then some stuff you can just go straight to, and then some things you are going to have to look for, but you'll know how to tab your book up and find these things. Again, I did mention that the test is 5 hours and 40 minutes. You got 2 minutes and 15 seconds for each question. Okay. Make sure that you are writing down trouble spots. You don't have to take notes on everything. Take notes on what you have trouble in that you're not going to remember. Take notes on that. Okay. Again, my son told me to mention how you get to the channel. It's Sapphire Medical Coding and Billing. So it's Sapphire Financial Medical Coding and Billing LLBC. You can type that in when you go on YouTube, and it'll come up. So just remember, there'll be days where I'm talking about billing, then there'll be days I'm talking about coding. I'll let you know that as we progress on. Because we actually start going into the coding, which won't be in depth. I won't be on YouTube like I'm teaching a class. I'm just going to be throwing stuff out there. We're going to do the anesthesia, and I said we're going to talk about PAD when we go into that. More than likely, that will be in the beginning of February when we start going into that. Anybody who want to get into the class, let me know. Let me know how you want to proceed with getting into classroom. Now, I don't know how I want to proceed with the class, because I think a lot of people asking me, about the prices of the class. Now, the class is nothing. It's like $15 an hour. Some people need a full class. Some people need a whole session. When you get the book, look in there. The prices are in there. And more than likely, just buy the book. Okay, if you can show me that you could just buy this book, it will be encouragement where, Miss Lambert might go, we'll see. We'll see about the price. Let's see what's going on. Because I got to take time to do this. When I'm working during the day, when I come home, I'm trying to do these things, but I'm done. I can't. I have to do this on my day off, and we do the classes on my day off. Okay. So again, just let me know what you guys need, what you want. We got to work it out. If you're working as a receptionist or your PAS, what is it, patient access service, you want to go up, let me know. Because you guys are already in the hospital, okay? So you don't need that much. But, if you want to go to coding, you're going to have to start from scratch. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to finish. I have notes in here, but these things, this is for next week. I just want to kind of clear everything that I'm looking at in here so you guys can get an idea of what we're going to be talking about. So of course, I'm just going to reiterate that this is Sapphire Financial Training. Some of you guys know I have been doing this. My company used to be called Diamond Medical Billing and Coding. And I used to just kind of go to the nursing homes and kind of consult and, do the coding at home, or I'll have to go, a different state or something like that. But I changed it because I'm going to do like mortgage and credit and try to get people where they want to be. The first thing is you got to have a job for 2 years. Either that, or you have to have been on your job or in your field for 2 years. So at least 2 years. So, and that has to do with this, work 2 years, and you get it. So those are some of the things that they look at for that. I'm trying not to throw out too much, but I see so many notes that, people ask me a lot of questions, and I'm just trying to answer some of those questions while we're doing that. What do you do when you have your co-workers not assisting you and not giving you an assistance? All right, so that's a question of, you have to, learn your co-workers, learn the people that you're working around, stay to yourself and keep it moving. If your boss says your work is fine and you can just kind of figure it out. If you need to go to your supervisor, ask them. The rest of them, you don't want to do too much fraternizing with them. I would keep it moving. They don't really know you. You don't know them. And sometimes when you have people who've been there a long time, they don't want new blood coming in. And, it's kind of hard. But, go in, know what you got to do it, and get out of there. That's what you want to do. Do it and get out of there. One of the biggest things I always tell people is wherever you work at, learn from your peers. Learn from the people who are around you. You don't have to let them know you're trying to learn from them. Pick up what they're doing. Learn from them, because that's how you're going to get ahead. They don't want to teach you, slide it in there. Put them in a corner, Send them an email. They have to respond. And really, you're just really asking the question because you're trying to find out. But, sometimes you just have to play they had to play silly one at work, just act like you don't know nothing. They'll teach you. Don't go in there act like you know everything. They're not going to show you nothing. So, just try to get along with everybody and everything will be smooth. Because, you don't want a bad apple popping into the group and then it's a problem. But, just get them geared up too. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Trust me, it just takes a while. So, another point for at work, what did she say? She said, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just reading one of these emails. So this is a question about, there was a person, I guess she works in the ER. She said ER, but it's actually, I don't know, we say ED, but ER is the same thing as the emergency department. And she was talking about the classes, how she wanted to do medical billing instead of working in ER. And some of her friends were like, oh, you can't do that, this and that. You can't transfer there, and stuff like that. And, she kind of goes on and on. They were trying to discourage her. Don't get discouraged. It is a different field. But this is the good part. I would do medical billing first before you jump into the coding, because you're already in the hospital. And the fact that you guys are already doing Epic is listen, most of these hospitals do Epic. The ones that are still doing the older practice management, like Meditech, a thing that's practice management. You'll get to know those differences. And those Epic is a hospital. Next Gen is physicians. The Epic is worldwide. I mean, I got one hospital all the way in Michigan that they use the Epic. So that already. Trust me. Just get the billing. Get the book. And a lot of questions in that book has to do with billing, and it has questions like if you do transfer and they try to throw some questions at you, get the book. A lot of those questions are already in there. Again, that's what we're going to discuss. So, just keep it moving. I mean, if anything, encourage them to get the book themselves. Maybe they want to transfer. Or, maybe they just don't know how to go about doing it. But don't let them discourage you just because you're doing that. It doesn't matter. You're in a hospital. You know how to do Epic. Trust me. You just put in for the transfer. Now, I wouldn't say now. Not if you're just jumping right out of the ED and then jumping in. Put in for the transfer and then take your time and get it done. Get the book and take a look at the book. So the book is small. So it's like 100 pages or something like that. But I would get that. Okay, so don't let them discourage you. Go ahead, do the medical billing if you want to, and then work your way up to the coding. If you don't want to transfer right away, then just take the medical billing and the coding class. A lot of times I won't be in the class, but I'll have work for them that's already in there. You guys can print it off. Just make sure you got the password to go in there and print it off. And then there'll be the days when I'm actually in the classroom. You guys can see me there. So, an opportunity comes to you like that, I would take it, just take it. Just take it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something that you want to do. Just go ahead and do it. Okay? So, here's one. Well, we talked about that. Do you recommend getting new books? We talked about the books already. You don't have to get new books. Get the used books. That's fine. Get the new used books. No problem. Not when you're taking your test, though. When you guys get ready, I want you to have new books when you take your CPC. If you can't get the new books, just get to 2019. Okay? What else do we have in here? We talked about the coding series. I did get an email about that. When you get your CPT book, you don't have to get a new one. Just get an old one for now to study with just for a second. It's like $4. But I want you to get the current book because there's a lot of changes in there. The CPT book and the ICD-10 Hicks Picks. Get the new ones because they have new rules are in there sometimes. So I want you to go ahead and get the new one. But again, the young lady who was talking about the ED, just work as a team with them and just show them you can do it. I would do it. We also train you guys to take your CPB, that's Certified Professional Biller. You can do that as well. But you want to do coding? Let's start from scratch. You want to do coding? You never done it before? I need you to go ahead and get into the class. Get the book, and that's like a kind of like a beginner. You see how big the step-by-step is? I think the new one is probably bigger than this. My book is pretty much this big. I just kind of squished everything in there that I felt that you guys needed to know. So that'll be the ending of this. The rest of this is talking about going straight into coding and anesthesia. We talked about open and close, E&M. Okay, no. The E&M, anesthesia, or the coding. I got that in here for February, so I don't want to go into any of that. So evaluation and management, medicine, we're going to go into that the next time. I think everything that we pretty much covered now is what we are going to be discussing. So again, if you're a beginner at coding, go to the class. There are tests in there. The CPC study guide book. There's tests and stuff in there. It's pretty old. But there's tests in there that you can take. There's also rationales at the end. Read the rationales at the end. When you see those cases, so you can get an idea of if you got that case wrong, you want to see how to correct it. You want to see what you went wrong at. You want to see what you missed. Okay. So we talked about that. We talked about the notes. So the first thing that I want y'all to do is go on CMS and get that ICD-10 CM guidelines, because it tells you in the beginning that it's so interesting how the ICD-10 book came about, how it was made, where it came from. You'd be surprised. Just remember, who is a World Health Organization? They did the ICD-10, and United States did ICD-10 CM. So you see how that is, and what if that's on the test? You don't get that mixed up. So get that current ICD-10 guidelines. Okay. I'm just looking on this to see what else is in here. So if you guys have any questions, any more questions, just let me know. I'm gonna go through the emails tonight, so I can see some of the other stuff that's in there that you guys are asking me. Will the classroom be open 24 hours? I'm sorry, there's a question. The classroom will not be open 24 hours. I will not be in the classroom available for 24 hours, but you can jump into the classroom whenever you want to. Just put your class code in there and you can pull off what you want. If I type something on there, I'll put something on the board. You guys can see that anything in the chat that we talked about, you can see that in there. But let me tell you this, when you go into the classroom, if you're talking to me, if you are asking me something, and you don't want anybody else to see what you're talking about, you're going to have to block that out. I'm going to show you how to do that. Because I do have some that are just, they say things that is just for me, but they don't know how to block it out where it's not for the whole class. It's nothing invasive, nothing like that, but I'm going to show you how to do that. There's a little chime on the end in a classroom where you can do that. So when you do go in there, just start exploring it. And on the website, it shows you how to get in there. I'm going to show you how to get in there. Just shoot me an email. And I'm only going to tell y'all the ones that really want to get in. And I'm not going to go on YouTube and tell y'all all the class codes and all that kind of stuff. You tell me what you want and I'll go ahead and give it to you. Okay. So I want you to get that insurance handbook, the step-by-step. Okay. Get the workbook. Okay. Get the workbook with it because you can do that work yourself. The medical terminology, language of medicine. Get that book. Okay. If you don't want to get that one, you can get this one. I'm sorry, I'm looking for the book. You can get. I don't know what happened there, but you can get this one, okay? I think my battery's going low. So I'm going to close out now, but send me an email. Let me know what you guys want to do. Again, go to Thrift Books and get those books for $3 or $4, especially the medical terminology book, so you can start getting brushed up on that. The step-by-step book and insurance handbook, you don't have to get that yet. Wait till you join the classroom. But let's just, we're going to start from scratch with it. So that's pretty much all we're going to talk about today. I'll probably see y'all again, not today, but tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll put something on there tomorrow, but it'll be in reference to the class. I was going to do a good 30 minutes on this one, but I don't know. Don't ask me why I didn't charge my phone up. But that's what we're going to do. So those of you, get the book. Get the book. Look at the book from back to front. See what's in it. That's just a rough draft of what's going to be on your CPC. And we'll just take it from there, okay? Those of you who are doing CPB, there's a whole different story to that. So we'll talk about that, okay? Everybody have a good night. Bye-bye.